So you all have been patiently awaiting my review of the Oh My God cream that Wisp sent me, and I have finally come with my review. So I'm going to discuss my review with this. I'm also going to talk about the Libido pills. If you can see them in the back, I'll grab them in a second because I want to talk about their contribution. It was a team effort. It was a great day. So let's discuss all of the components and kind of like, in a way, look at this like research. And don't get me wrong, like sex and masturbation should never be like considered research. But when I am giving reviews on these toys or these products, I want to have kind of an objective standpoint or an objective point of view and kind of tell you how I worked it so that I can give you the most honest review, because I don't want you spending money on products that don't work. So let's discuss the Libido pills first, because I have been taking these for about 3 weeks now, and I was discussing with you after my first 7-day review about how I was waiting until the week before my period, so typically in my cycle, PMS week, to see if I felt any type of difference, because this is usually the week that my personal like sex drive depletes. It plummets. I just don't feel good in my body. I don't feel good in general. So I wanted to wait for this week to really see if the pills gave me a little extra punch. And I will say, they gave me a little extra punch. Even though I was still experiencing some of the symptoms that I typically do with PMS, as all vulva owners understand the complexity and just the terrible symptoms that we go through every single month, my sex drive has still stayed up here. It hasn't plummeted. It hasn't, I wouldn't say it's spiked any, but it is definitely much higher than it typically is this time in my cycle. Like I can 100% say that with confidence because I have been in the mood this week. I have felt good in my body this week, even though the symptoms are still kind of coming up with PMS. And obviously I was able to review a product. So my sex drive was definitely there this week. So I'm getting excited about the Libido pills because it seems the longer you take them, the more they start to kind of work and they start to set in. And that's probably why they give you a 90-day supply so that you can feel the overall effects month after month after month. Because I am only 3 weeks into month 1 and I'm feeling real good. So after 3 weeks of taking these, would I recommend them? Yes, absolutely right now. Like I said, and I was talking to a friend about this over coffee last night, I was like, I'm not sure if it's a placebo effect or what, but overall, I feel better since taking these. Like I can definitely feel like my sex drive is up there. And I, like I said before, say that I would have like a moderate to high sex drive, once again, depending on my cycle. So I would recommend trying these out if you are looking for a natural libido supplement that helps either vulva owners or penis owners. Remember, they have 2 different ingredients in them. The penis owners has ashwagandha, hope I'm pronouncing that right, which I believe is a mushroom extract, or mushroom derivative might be the best word. And then the one for vulva owners is tribulus, which is also a plant extract. And basically they are meant to optimize blood flow in your body, because when we are becoming aroused, blood flow goes to the genitalia. And there was even a really cool, there's thermal imaging. I'm reading a book right now about the psychology of sex, and I was watching a couple documentaries on thermal imaging when it comes to arousal and how they are able to basically scan your genitalia when you're fully clothed, if you're watching porn or something, and they can see the state of arousal because of the blood flow that goes to the area and the heat that it produces. It shows up in different colors on thermal imaging. So I thought that was really cool. So that's what the pill is basically doing. It's causing your blood, optimizing your blood flow, kind of helping balance your hormones so that arousal becomes easier than it is typically. It's basically just kind of lubing up your engine per se. All right, so now let's discuss the Oh My God cream, because women who have purchased this on my platform have said that they absolutely love it and gave me some tips in using it. So typically the way this works, it is the female version of Viagra. It's a topical cream, so you are meant to put it on your clit. Directions say to put it on 30 minutes prior, and you put about a pea-sized amount on your finger, you put it on your clit. So a few people have messaged me and said they do it closer to 10-15 minutes before, which is what I did because I wanted it to kind of be closer. Now, I wore this, put that in quotes, I wanted to test this out in a few ways. So number one, when we think Viagra, we think of the penis version of Viagra, which means the penis swells, it gets bigger, it gets hard. So I wanted to put it on by itself to see if it actually did cause my clit to swell and or enlarge. So I don't know, about a week or so ago, I put it on and was just kind of walking around to see if there was a massive difference. Now, I would have to say, did it make me want to dry hump everything in sight? No. Did I feel a bit of a difference? Yes. Do I believe my clit enlarged? No, right? So it basically felt like a cool breeze, I think is the best way to describe it. It tingled down there. It definitely, you felt something down there, and it lasted for about a half hour. And then throughout the day, I would say I was a little bit more sensitive down there. Like, you could definitely feel the friction more in my jeans when I was walking and or when you were driving, and the vibrations a little bit more, but it wasn't anything that made me feel like, oh my fucking God, I need to have sex right now, or I need to masturbate right now. So it wasn't super extreme. It also says that it has a lasting effect for a few hours, and that you should only be using this about 4 times a day. So I wanted to see, like I said, if it would do anything if I didn't have sex and or didn't masturbate, how it would make me feel. And I would definitely say it caused me to be aware that my clit existed and that it was there, but it didn't like boost up my sex drive all of a sudden. And I think that's a big, huge differentiation between the male version of, like, the male version obviously makes it hard, and so you need to have sex or masturbate in order for that to go down. That's not how it works with this version, which I think is something that you could kind of play with yourself, of like kind of putting it on and seeing like if it does make you a little bit more antsy. It could be spicy play where you could be talking to your partner about the fact that you put this on and you're walking around all day in it. It could be used in a multifaceted ways without even leading to just masturbation or sex, because it is like very good feeling. It's very cooling, very tingling, relaxing, I would say. It's not anything that you should be scared. That's probably a good thing to talk about putting on yourself, because it is a topical cream. People may have reactions to it. Like, we need to be real about that. Everybody's body is different. But overall, there was no like burning. It didn't hurt. It didn't scare me. It actually felt quite. Now, the second time I tried it was to do the full like gambit of it. Put it on, let it sit for a few minutes, then go and masturbate and see if there was a difference. And what I did as well, it's like research. It just makes me laugh. It's like scientific. So the last time I self-pleasured, I used the Flaming Red Lips. Loved that toy, raved about that toy, loved that toy and raved about that toy so much that we sold out that toy from Too Timid. It was a brand new toy. They only had 100 in stock, and 70 of the 100 came from my link alone. So we really love this toy. So what I wanted to do in this session was basically see like, oh, I really like this toy, so I know it works. So it's not like trying to finagle with a new toy, right? Okay, let's see the difference. Like, I remember that session. Let me see the difference between using the exact same toy with the cream and see if there was a massive difference. Because if we're looking at it from a scientific standpoint, we want to limit the amount of variables in a scientific experiment. So the biggest variable was this. Every session, everything was basically the same beforehand. Same toy, same place, same level of arousal before self-pleasure. And the only difference was I put this cream on for about 10-15 minutes, let it sit, and then started the session. Now, did I feel a difference between using the cream and not using the cream? Oh, well, I felt a difference. Yeah. There was a massive difference. So let me talk to you about it. So the first thing I noticed in the differences is how quickly my first O came this session versus last session. And also stating that it was probably the same duration of time since I last self-pleasured beforehand too. So like there were very limited variables in here. And so when I put it on and then started using the toy, I typically can pop off with a good toy in 2.5 to 3 minutes. With this one, it was almost 30 seconds in. It was almost instantaneous. Like it was so jarring at first that I pulled back with the toy because I was like, oh, that happened very, very quickly. And so that was the biggest the biggest difference I noticed from that session to the one with the cream was fucking seconds. Like it was insane. Then the frequency of orgasms was much more frequent and had little to no refractory period compared, like using the cream. And what I mean by that, just in case you don't understand the terminology, when someone orgasms, typically their body goes through a refractory period where everything kind of comes back down, their body stabilizes, their heart rate decreases, right? Their adrenaline goes down, and then they have the ability to kind of go back up that climactic hill and have another climax. So the refractory period for me, I would say, is typically between, it could happen as little as like probably 2 minutes in between each orgasm, upwards of like 5 minutes. That could be even 7. My refractory period was like 30 seconds to a minute at most. It was fucking insane. They came and I came so freaking quickly, one right after another. It was, I would say, the most amount of orgasms or frequent orgasms that I've had in a self-pleasure session ever. And if y'all know me, it's my hobby at this point. Like quite literally, it's my hobby. And so it is typical. I'm very aware of my body, I think is the best way to put it. And I know what gets my body going, and I know how long it usually takes to get here and to get there. And I was blown the fuck away by how fast this thing had me going. Like one right after the other. I think the longest was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. And I'm talking, I probably had like 7 to 10 orgasms in 15 minutes. It was great. So I'm so cheery and I'm glowing right now. So we attribute that to the fact that the blood flow in that area probably became heightened because of the cream and the tribulus plant extract in there. And so it probably caused, it caused my blood flow to quicken. So increased sensitivity in that area, which made me then be able to pop off more frequently than most. I will also say the intensity of the orgasms was slightly heightened. And I'm using slightly conservatively because I know all of our bodies are different. I noticed a big difference between without the cream and with the cream. Like I said, know my body. I'm good with self-pleasure. I know what makes it work. And this cream made it so much more enjoyable. I don't know. It was awesome. I 1,000% from like using this one time would highly recommend this for anybody who struggles achieving an O during self-pleasure or even sex. Because if you use this during partner play, what you can do is you can put it on your clit before partner play and then use a clit stimulator during partner play to increase your arousal, your climax, your coming. And or you could also use a what the fuck was that? Did you see that pop up? Was that just me? Sorry, that completely threw me off. I didn't know that it did that. Okay. So during partner play, you can use a toy to increase clit stimulation while wearing the cream. You could also use a, a cock ring as well, so that it has a bullet on top, so that if you're riding or they're on top, it can also cause friction to your clit. Or you could just put it on and then get on top, because when a vulva owner is typically on top, the friction of going back and forth against the pelvic area of your partner typically can cause your clit to become aroused, and it does make it more sensitive because blood flow does increase sensitivity to the area. So you can use it through self-pleasure, or you can use it during partner play. It's whatever you prefer. So first impression, 10 out of fucking 10. I was thinking, and this is just like a little personal information about me, I think smoking is such a turnoff. Like, whether it's a cigarette, whether it's vaping, whether it's weed, I don't like it. The second, like, someone can be so fucking sexy, and the second they put a vape in their mouth or a cigarette, it's like, my sex drive just plummets. I don't think it's sexy at all. And all I kept thinking after the session was, Jesus, I don't even smoke and I could use a cigarette right now. Like, it blew my fucking mind. This stuff was so good. And honestly, I have really low expectations for things now because of my ability, or the ability I have had to be able to test out different toys and different products. And I'm so blessed and so happy and so humbled by that. But not a lot gets me excited, because a lot of times when I've gone into these and been like, yes, this toy's gonna be great, and it's so disappointing, it makes me so fucking sad. So lately I go in with like zero expectations, and this one like absolutely exceeded my expectations. So just a few things. If you were going to buy this product, typically you go to their website, and their website will have you fill out a little bit of a questionnaire. Some of their products do require a televisit, and I'm going to put this in quotes, because with this and the Libido pills, all I had to do was answer a few questions, and that was considered my like televisit, because these are considered kind of prescriptions. But it was literally took me 3 seconds to fill out the questionnaire, and then a doctor approved it, and these were in my door, in my hands within a week. This one definitely took longer. This one was here within like 3 days. This, the Oh My God cream took probably at least a week. And let's talk cost, because that's fucking important too. So the Libido pills are $22 a month, and you get a 3-month supply. So that's 90 days. So that averages, oh my God, $66. I think with tax, it's around $70. The Oh My God cream, I believe, is around $39, and you get these individually. And so combined, if you got both, I think it's about $100 and some odd dollars, $20 with tax. And you can use my discount code, because I do have a discount code with the company. It's Amanda15. And so that'll at least give you 15% off of the products that you buy from their site. But like, oh, that's so funny. They just text me. And like, both of these products so far are making me happy and are exceeding my expectations. Now I'm going to continue to take the Libido supplements for the entire duration of 90 days and check back in with you throughout. This I am going to use probably 2 more times to make sure that this isn't a quote unquote fluke review, because I hate when people like review something the first time and then they go back to it, especially makeup, right? When makeup influencers are like, I love this, and then the second review they're like, I actually hate this. I'm like, that drives me fucking crazy, because like when you say I love it, it's in my fucking cart. So I just want you to know this is my first impression review. And so I will probably do this, or it'll do me, another 2 times at least, to get my overall like 100% stamp of approval, guaranteed, recommend, all of that. And let's answer some questions I feel like I'm going to field before you ask them. Does the cream have a smell? No. If anything, does it? Smells like peppermint. Yeah, so it does have a slight smell to it, but that's also because it has peppermint in it. And so that's what caused the tingling sensation to the clit. So yes, it does have a slight smell. Is it good for sensitive skin? I believe I have sensitive skin. It did not affect me at all, but every single person's body is different. Do you put this on and then have oral sex with your partner? No. This is not meant to be taken orally. So if you were going to put this on before oral sex, what you want to do is put it on and then wipe it off and clean the area off before participating in oral sex. They say not to use it more than 4 times a day, and they do say it has a lasting effect that can last a few hours. So like, for example, I used it, what time is it? Probably a couple hours ago. I showered, obviously, because I'm rocking this great fucking hair today. And then I can kind of still feel between my legs tingling, whether that is an after effect of the self-pleasure session, because I did use a clit stimulator, which also is normal. If after you have a self-pleasure session and you use a clit stimulator, you may be a little tingly afterwards, especially if you're having intense orgasms, just FYI. So definitely feel a little bit of a lasting effect from it. Once again, it's more of a cooling, tingling sensation. It's not anything that's making me want to like run around and hump everything. But I think those are all the questions that I anticipate you guys asking. But of course, if you have any more questions, you can send me a DM, or you can just go to their website. They have a whole FAQ, section. That was so loud. My voice just went over here. They have a whole FAQ section that goes over a bunch of questions that people have asked. I will do the best of my ability to answer it, but it's always just smart to go to the horse of the mouth, which is the mouth of the horse? The mouth of the horse? Who cares? Their website. Go to their website. Long-winded way of saying it.